Hey guys, this is Derek Duplessis, host of Purpose Rockstar. It's a podcast where we interview people who found purpose in their career in all kinds of fields.
Welcome to the Purpose Rockstar Podcast, inspiring stories of people who found purpose in their careers 5 days a week. Unleash your inner rock star and tap into your highest purpose with your host, Derek Duplessis.
Welcome to the Purpose Rockstar Podcast. I'm your host, Derek Duplessis, Executive Director of the Duplessis Foundation. We're helping inner city entrepreneurs to pursue their purpose by training them to run a successful business. This show is an extension of our mission to help you and people all over the world find purpose in their work. Let me tell you a little bit about today's guest.
Today's interview is with Sara Seager. Not only is she a good friend, but she's also one of the most well-known astrophysicists in the world. You'll see her all over the place in Ancient Aliens or on the Star Trek DVD. She's everywhere. But in this interview, you actually get to understand the person behind all of the science. And I think you really will enjoy this.
But I want to transition into our lightning round. And this is where I ask you a series of quick questions, and you're going to give awesome answers. Are you ready, Sarah?
I'm ready.
Beautiful. What's a book you recommend?
The book I recommend is called Marie Curie and Her Daughters. Marie Curie is a famous scientist who discovered radioactivity, and she was awarded 2 Nobel Prizes for her work, which is almost unheard of. This book is about the second part of her life, which isn't usually talked about, where she was a single mother and a widow, and she's really an inspiration to all people working hard out there who have to struggle against a cause.
Beautiful. Well, all the Purpose Rock Stars know that if they want to link to this book, they can just go to purposerockstar.com, look up Sara Seager's interview, and Marie Curie and her children and her girls will be right there. This is my mind. Almost forgot my questions. So, tell us a helpful internet resource that you use.
You know what? I use Wikipedia all the time. Wikipedia is a great resource, but you have to be careful and try to be aware as to whether the content is accurate or not. But in my work, I find most of it is quite accurate, and it's a great place to reference things, to go and get a little bit of a brush up if you need it, and things like that.
Lovely. And tell us, what's a helpful habit that's been really great for you?
A helpful habit has been to focus to the extent possible. And that is, there's a lot really to that, but it's finding the best time of day that you work the best. Some people are night owls, so they need to work at night. Other people are morning people. They need to work first thing in the morning. And it's shutting my door, turning the phone off, and just getting my work done without checking email or browsing the web. It's focus.
Beautiful. One of my podcast heroes, John Lee Dumas, has an acronym for focus that I try to imbue and impart on myself. It's follow one course until success. So for whatever that's worth, it's something hopefully you'd enjoy. And, on this journey, we have, this great story, your story, which is a heroine story, right? You against the world. But obviously we know that there's folks along the way that have helped you get to where you are. Take some time, take 60 seconds and acknowledge someone who's really helped you or mentored you along the way.
The person who gave me the most mentorship, the person who was most enabling for me was John Bacall. He's not alive right now, but he was my boss, my supervisor, when I did my postdoctoral fellowship. That's after I got my PhD and before I got a job. And why he was so enabling was he helped me recognize what my strengths were. Before I was sort of shy and I didn't really think as highly as myself as maybe I should have, and he helped me recognize my strengths. He also was a phenomenal mentor because he didn't say, Sarah, here's my advice for you. Instead, he would point stuff out in a playful, or a harsh manner, depending on the situation. But he helped me really recognize what I was doing right that I should keep doing, and what I was doing that was ineffective and should stop doing. And he did it in this phenomenal way that was sort of brilliant and funny and mean all at the same time.
Well, John, you are remembered. Now, here's my favorite question in the lightning round. Given all that you've done and all that you've seen, why are you here? What's your purpose?
I see myself as having two purposes. I see myself as being the one who has the shot at getting people together to work to find the other Earth. In my field, we believe that it's a legacy for the entire future of humanity to know that there are planets like Earth around other stars. And we also believe that someday, hundreds or 1,000 years from now, people will find a way to travel to those Earth-like worlds around other stars, and they will see us collectively as those that first made the discoveries. So we see it as enabling. And my second purpose, I believe, is enabling others in a different way. And that is the whole point we talked about a bit earlier in the conversation about people, how people are limited from success by their own internal thinking. And how to help people overcome that is something that I'm still working on, making it more broadly applicable. But I see my job here as enabler for finding the Earth and for enabling people to reach their potential.
Lovely. Now, I just want to say this has been a pleasure. Obviously, I've worked with you for, a year plus and got to know you a little bit, but this interview was really a treat for me, and hopefully for all the Purpose rock stars out there, it's a treat for them. So thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Derek. And I just want to say I love your work. I'm going to follow you, and I hope that we'll stay in touch.
Oh, there's no hoping. We will, for sure. Now, this is when I ask you to let us know the best way to follow you and give us your parting words.
The best way to follow me is to follow me on Facebook, or you can friend me and be one of my many fans. You can also follow me on Twitter, which I'm a bit of a less active user. My parting words are related to exoplanets. And you know what? In exoplanets, we see that all types of planets exist. It's not just planets the size of Earth or planets the size of Jupiter. Every size you can imagine, every planet mass you can imagine, every distance from the star you can imagine, everything you can imagine within the laws of physics and chemistry exists. And so my parting words, which apply to exoplanets, and I believe that they also apply to life, is that anything is possible within the laws of physics and chemistry.
Beautiful. Well, you've showed that anything is possible in physics and chemistry and also in life. And I know there's going to be a lot of Purpose rock stars that are going to really appreciate this interview. So, Sarah, on behalf of all the Purpose rock stars out there, I salute you, and I look forward to you moving and grooving from now until forever.
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Purpose Rockstar. All the resources we mentioned and a summary of this interview is at purposerockstar.com. If you've enjoyed this interview, I'd really appreciate one awesome favor. Go to iTunes, find the Purpose Rockstar show, and give us a rating, review, and subscription. This is the absolute best way to help people all over the world find the show. Pursue your purpose and find us at